When you think of the southeastern United States, certain images may come to mind: vast wetlands, winding rivers, and an iconic reptile lurking just beneath the surface, the American alligator. But what many don't realize is that this apex predator, a keystone species in its ecosystem, nearly disappeared from these habitats. Today, its recovery stands as one of the most remarkable conservation success stories in history. Let's explore the journey of the American alligator from the brink of extinction to its triumphant resurgence. The threat of extinction. By the 1960s, the American alligator faced a grim reality. Overhunting for its prized leather and meat had decimated populations, while widespread habitat destruction caused by urban development and agricultural expansion further exacerbated the decline. Pollutants like DDT disrupted the reptile's reproductive health, pushing the species closer to extinction. Once thriving in the wetlands, swamps, and rivers of the southeastern United States, the American alligator's numbers had plummeted to alarming levels. Overhunting and its impacts. One of the primary drivers of the alligator's decline was relentless overhunting. Alligator leather was highly sought after for luxury goods like shoes, belts, and handbags, prized for its durability and unique texture. Additionally, alligator meat became a delicacy in certain regions, further fueling the demand. Poachers and hunters exploited these reptiles indiscriminately, with little to no regulation, leading to a rapid depletion of populations. Without sustainable hunting practices in place, alligator numbers could not keep pace with the intense exploitation. Habitat destruction, losing the wetlands. At the same time, the alligator's natural habitats were being destroyed at an alarming rate. Urban development in states like Florida, Louisiana, and Texas saw wetlands drained to make way for cities, roads, and agricultural land. This loss of habitat had a devastating ripple effect, as wetlands are crucial for the survival of not just alligators, but countless other species. Wetlands also serve as breeding grounds, nurseries, and hunting areas for alligators, so their destruction directly impacted the reptile's ability to reproduce and sustain their populations. The role of agricultural expansion. The agricultural boom in the mid-20th century further contributed to habitat degradation. As more land was cleared for crops, irrigation systems disrupted natural water flows, altering the hydrology of wetland ecosystems. These changes rendered many habitats unsuitable for alligators, particularly during dry seasons when water sources became scarce. Pollution and reproductive decline. In addition to habitat loss, pollution played a significant role in pushing the species closer to extinction. Chemicals such as DDT, a pesticide widely used at the time, leached into water systems, poisoning the food chain. These pollutants accumulated in the tissues of fish and other prey, which were then consumed by alligators. DDT is particularly harmful because it disrupts hormonal systems, leading to issues such as thinner eggshells and lower reproductive success rates in alligators. Fewer hatchlings survived, compounding the decline caused by overhunting and habitat destruction. A perfect storm for extinction. Together, these factors created a perfect storm that left the American alligator on the brink of extinction. Its population, once estimated to be in the millions, had plummeted to a few 100,000 individuals scattered across fragmented habitats. The decline was so severe that in many areas, alligators completely disappeared, leaving ecological gaps in the wetlands where they once played a critical role as apex predators. The situation in the 1960s was a wake-up call for conservationists and policymakers, underscoring the urgent need for action to save the species and preserve the delicate balance of the ecosystems it inhabited. The alligator's plight became a powerful example of how unchecked human activities can threaten even the most resilient creatures. Legal protections. A turning point. Recognizing the urgent need for action, the federal government took critical steps to protect the species. In 1967, the alligator was one of the first animals listed as endangered under the Endangered Species Preservation Act, a precursor to the Endangered Species Act, E.S.A., of 1973. The U.S.A. became the cornerstone of the alligators' recovery, implementing stringent protections against hunting, habitat destruction, and trade. This landmark legislation also facilitated funding for comprehensive recovery programs, laying the foundation for the alligators' remarkable comeback. Innovative conservation methods. The alligators' recovery hinged on a combination of innovative conservation methods. 1. Captive breeding programs. Specialized facilities and zoos raised young alligators in controlled environments. Once they reached a size that reduced their vulnerability to predators, they were released into the wild. 2. Relocation efforts. Surplus alligators from healthy populations were transported to regions where the species had been extirpated, helping establish new breeding populations. 3. Wetland restoration projects. Conserving and restoring wetlands ensured a sustainable environment for the reintroduced alligators and the broader ecosystem. Public awareness and education. Public awareness campaigns were instrumental in fostering support for alligator conservation. These initiatives dispelled myths about the reptile being a mindless killer and highlighted its ecological importance. Alligators, as top predators and ecosystem engineers, play a critical role in maintaining biodiversity by creating water sources for other wildlife during dry periods. Educating the public about these benefits helped reduce fear and promote coexistence. Recovery and ecological impact. By the 1980s, populations had rebounded significantly across their historic range, prompting the species to be removed from the endangered species list in 1987. Today, wild alligator populations exceed 5 million, primarily in Florida and Louisiana. This recovery restored balance to wetland ecosystems, with alligators playing a key role as apex predators and ecosystem engineers. Their return prevented overgrazing and helped maintain biodiversity, revitalizing the health of the ecosystems they inhabit. Economic benefits. The American alligator has not only made an ecological comeback, but has also become a significant contributor to local economies through regulated industries and ecotourism. States like Louisiana have embraced the sustainable management of alligator populations by permitting regulated hunting and farming. These programs ensure that harvesting is done responsibly, preventing overexploitation while creating a lucrative market for alligator products. In Louisiana alone, the alligator industry generates an estimated $80 million annually, driven by the production of high-quality leather goods and meat. Additionally, the allure of these majestic reptiles in their natural habitats has turned them into a key attraction for ecotourism. Visitors flock to the wetlands to witness alligators basking on riverbanks or gliding through swampy waters, fueling local businesses and generating revenue for continued conservation efforts. This dual approach, balancing economic incentives with ecological stewardship, has been pivotal in transforming the American alligator from a species once on the brink of extinction to a vital asset for communities in the southeastern United States. Challenges to long-term survival. Despite these successes, challenges remain. 1. Human-alligator conflicts. As human populations grow in the southeastern United States, encounters between people and alligators have increased, leading to potentially dangerous situations. Wildlife agencies have developed protocols to address such conflicts. 2. Climate change. Rising temperatures and altered water levels threaten alligator habitats and breeding cycles. 3. Habitat loss. Continued urbanization and wetland development pose ongoing risks to the species' habitat. The numbers behind the success. While exact figures are challenging to pinpoint, over 150,000 young alligators were bred in captivity and released into the wild in Louisiana alone. Across all participating states, including Texas, Georgia, and South Carolina, an estimated 200,000 to 300,000 alligators were reintroduced. These efforts were pivotal in re-establishing populations in areas where the species had been wiped out. The American alligator's recovery stands as a powerful testament to what can be achieved through dedicated and coordinated conservation efforts. From the brink of extinction to a thriving population, its resurgence highlights the effectiveness of legal protections, habitat restoration, and public education. By balancing ecological preservation with economic benefits, the sustainable management of alligator populations has become a global model for conservation success. Today, the American alligator symbolizes humanity's ability to correct past mistakes and work toward preserving the natural world. Its story is a reminder of the importance of vigilance, collaboration, and respect for biodiversity. As we continue to face environmental challenges, the alligator's journey inspires hope and determination. What other species could benefit from similar efforts? Share your thoughts below, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon to join us as we explore more incredible stories of resilience and conservation. Together, we can ensure a thriving planet for generations to come.